What up, YouTube? It's your boy Banks, and we back in the building, you feel me? It's True Talks, cause True Talks, alright? Let's get straight right into it. Alright, so what we're gonna be talking about today is we're gonna be talking about what happened the other day with Lonzo Ball. He was on multiple podcasts. I think he was on actually, I think I think he was on the Josh Hart podcast. He was on that podcast, Lighthearted, I think that's what it's called. And then he was also on Big Boy TV, the neighborhood Big Boy's Neighborhood podcast that he does. So, and he was on both, and he was basically talked about the trade and a bunch of stuff. So he also, he said how he found out about the trade, how he found out on Twitter and all that type of stuff. But he cleared it up, he already knew he was going to be in the trade talks from time. He's just relieved, to finally get it over with. So, we've been talking about the Lakers and the Clippers. So on the other half, we definitely got to talk about the people who gave away AD and what they got. And, we already talked about before we talked about the trade and what they got. But Lonzo Ball is a big name in the Lakers franchise that, when they drafted him, he's supposed to be the next Magic, etc., etc. His first year production is basically so similar to Jason Kidd. So he's on the rise, He's on the rise. And now he's traded. He's traded with B.I., Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, going to the Pelicans. And the Pelicans, honestly, they're in a great situation. They got rid of, obviously Anthony Davis is elite. You don't want to get rid of him. But for what they got for him, they got the number one pick. They got the number one pick, then they got the number 4 pick. So you have the number 1 pick, the number 4 pick, you know what I'm saying? Then you also have Lonzo, you have Brandon Ingram, you have Josh Hart. That's a great core, to start with. You already have Drew Holiday. Then you also did some signings. You signed, JJ Redick. You got Derek Favors. Your team is looking real clean, and it's going to be on the rise. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of positives there for that team. It's going to be excitement, man. The fact that they actually have an opening day roster. They're playing on Christmas. They have an opening day. They're scheduled for an opening day game versus the Raptors. That's how this team. Not only with Zion, obviously he was who took Instagram by storm, took everything by storm. Basically one of the most talked about rookies coming into the NBA since LeBron, right? The hoopla around his name and all the hype and all that type of stuff around him is just is a lot. Because you already know that he's a freak of nature. His bounce is out of this world and unheard of and unseen before. It's crazy. So you already know, obviously, the hype around him. You know me, I'm about the, the feet work, the skill set, not just athleticism. So I still need to see a lot from Zion himself. But I gotta at the end of the day, even if he doesn't bring a skill set, just off the jump, the transition with Lonzo pushing. And Lonzo's healthy finally, right? He had his first two seasons he was banged up, so he's finally healthy. You know what I'm saying? So he's back with a vengeance. He also talked about just the fact that he talked about just him being traded. He obviously has to play with a chip on his shoulder. He's having a fresh start. He has to play they didn't want me. Okay, watch this. You just light up that fire under him. Light up that fire. Man, also the stuff that happened with the Big Baller brand. And, he's not going to be wearing Big Baller brand, I think, this year. Because I think they're going through a revamp, changing their factory location, all the type of stuff, their technology within their shoes. Because he also exposed on Josh Hart's podcast about about what happened, in the summer league when he was changing his shoes all the time. It was exploding multiple times. So the shoes clearly weren't ready. And then he had to change. That's when he was wearing, remember, Nike, Adidas, and all that stuff. And I think Curry's one day, and then another day. So 3 days or whatever, just changing up shoes. And that was the story behind it, that it was basically not ready. So imagine be playing with a shoe that's not ready. Obviously, it got better, but technically it's still not on par with the Nikes and all the other shoes that everybody else is playing with. And if you play basketball and you really know, you know that if you're not playing in the right shoes, oh my goodness. That's why he had knee injury, leg injury, ankle injury. If you're not playing in the right shoes, that can affect your gameplay OD. It's not no joke. You got to play in the right shoes where you're feeling bouncy. You feel like you're jumping, jumping on a trampoline. Your quick step, your first step is there. Your jab step is there. Your cuts, your changes pace, your changes speed, your changes directions. Stopping on the dime, all of that type of stuff. The shoes matter, man. Shoes play a big part into basketball. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not wearing the right footwork, The right feet wear, my bad. You don't have the right footwork. And Lonzo's, he's up tempo, pushing, you know what I mean? That's why he looked like he was so grounded every time he was trying to dunk, and like he didn't look like the same bounce that he had in UCLA, the same burst, the same pep in his step. You know what I'm saying? So now you have that coming. That's a big factor. That already make him probably jump his points per game maybe by like 2 to 5 already, just off the shoes alone. You've seen the difference when he played. Every time he played in Nikes, he went to work. Yeah, I mean, he played in those Kobe's, he went to work and was scoring high 20s, almost 30. So just the Nike shoes itself, or the shoes that he's wearing, will just already boost his points per game, his averages, and all that type of stuff. So his speed, everything will just be a different ball game, and he already played solid with the bad shoes. So now you have that changing, you have the scenery changing, you have the type of players that surrounded him changing. He's not playing with older heads. Obviously, they're still trying to be fast tempo, but he's playing with another lockdown defender in Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday's so underrated. His defense is actually pad the hell up. His defense is padlocked. You need that vault. You need that code to enter. That's what that is. It's a vault. You know what I'm saying? That's that vice grip. That boy's defense is elite. So you have that, and you going around. And Lonzo's defense was elite too, because he's lanky. He has some length on him, 6'6", 6'7", playing how he plays the passing lanes, cookies. He actually had great on-ball defense. You seen that one clip where he was just rotating, doing all the hustling and just the heart to win. And you can see he's just slide shuffling. So, you know what I mean? He has great defense. Great playmaker. So now they're in transition. You have Zion added to that for alleys in the break. You see how Zion was moving with Duke in transition. Now you have him with Lonzo, who just advances the ball ASAP. Rebound gone. You know what I mean? He gets rebounds. So it's like, it's a different ball game. Just on transition, I can already see it, man. And Zion's going to get bare highlights. Transition Lonzo, Brandon Ingram. Then you have Jackson Hayes, who's basically like a Jarrett Allen, DeAndre Jordan type. You know what I'm saying? So he's going to get some looks in transition, even in half court. Lonzo Alley's like, there's a lot of stuff. And then there's not too many scores. So Brandon Ingram will actually fit in. You know what I'm saying? Will actually be able to ball handle and create and go to work on the high post, mid range. You know what I mean? Face up, all that type of stuff. Drew Holiday can play off the ball. You have JJ Redick curling off some down screens with Zion. Imagine a Zion down screen, JJ Redick curling, just Zion rolls. Alley from Lonzo. Jeez, next time, JJ curls, dime, splashy if you ask me, you know what I mean? So then you don't forget about Josh Hart. Their perimeter defense is going to be elite. Only JJ will be like a weak link, but you have Drew on the wing, you have Josh Hart, you have Lonzo, and then you have BI and Zion. And then don't forget Derek Favors pickup was solid, and you still have Jaleel coming off the bench with those post moves. Bruh, this team could be solid, man. I see them like between like maybe like a 38-42 win. I won't be surprised if they get more than 42. I'm just saying, just because the West is tough and it's just the first year getting chemistry, but just the way their play styles mesh, they don't even need chemistry. They'll just off the fast break alone and pushing in defense and turning into offense. Chemistry will have to work in for the half court sets. Alvin Gentry has some good half court sets. He hasn't, you know what I mean? They have some couple of shooters that might be their only weaknesses is spot up shooting. Like they have JJ Redick, but there still might not be OD space, especially when you have Zion, Brandon Ingram, and if Lonzo's off ball. Lonzo I expect to hit more because he was a great shooter in UCLA. I expect him to get closer to that, but they'll still find a way. You already know it's going to be Drew Holiday, Brandon Ingram type of half court. Zion, Lonzo in transition. Lonzo will still push the tempo, and he'll still do his pick and roll, pick and pops, and find the right guy. So it just, everything just fits. The pieces just mesh well together, and I'm looking forward to seeing them, man. I'm looking forward to seeing them. There's a lot of teams I'm looking forward to see. It's going to be a great season. There's a lot of elite stuff about to happen, but even just I'm looking at their like just their lineup. Just you have Lonzo at the 1, Drew at the 2, Brandon Ingram at the 3, Zion at the 4, Derek Favors at the 5. And then if whatever at the 5-minute mark, you know how the Golden State normally subs out Clay, and you bring in JJ, take out, maybe if you want to take out Zion, put Brandon at the 4, JJ at the 2. You know what I mean? Or you want to take out Drew or take out Lonzo, go put Drew at the 1, JJ at the 2, Brandon at the 3, Zion's still there. Then you bring in Josh Hart, just mixing and matching. You know what I'm saying? It's nice, man. They have a lot, and you still Etwan Moore, like. Nah, they'll be solid. They'll be solid, man. They have a good their backcourt is gonna be Lonzo, Drew, JJ, Etwan Moore, Josh Hart, and Brandon. You know what I mean? Well, that's their backcourt, those 3. And Josh Hart can sometimes play the 3 while Brandon slides to the 4. They might do a small ball here and there with Zion at the 5. You never know, man. Like It's solid, man. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm definitely liking what I'm seeing. Is going up. It's only up from there, man. It's only up from there. It's only up from there. Basically, like what I was saying, like the shoes difference for Lonzo. A lot of stuff is a difference. The change of scenery. You know what I mean? Now he's a free agent, like I said, with Baller Brand. I don't think he's doing it for this year. But so he's a free agent. He's gonna be wearing whatever shoes he feels like it. Maybe, you know, endorsements. Oh, they pay him to maybe wear this shoe, or just give him free kicks to wear this shoe because, you know, his follow it. So it's a lot of stuff going on, but it's just positive vibes. I see positivity around the Pelicans team. And when you have a positive team like that and you have chemistry and, you know what I mean, and you're all young thoroughbreds. You're not just one guy's trying to get the check and hidden agendas. Every man's just trying to eat because they all benefit off eating. It's only up from there. We still gotta wait to see how the half court game looks, but just the transition itself is gonna be highlight city, man. Pelicans, they're gonna be flying, no pun intended. You feel me? Anyways, you already know. Just a breakdown on that video on what Lonzo said and how it's going down, and I just know he's back. He's gonna be back with a vengeance, man, and it's good to see. I like to see that. People always been hating on Lonzo. I've never hated on Lonzo or his dad or anybody like that. I've been rating his dad. I rate his mindset. I rate Lonzo. You know what I mean? He's actually he's a peer playmaker type of player, Steve Nash type. You know what I'm saying? He just has to obviously. I think he was in his head with his shooting. Like I told people, he was shooting the lead at UCLA. Obviously, it's a different 3-point line, but he didn't shoot threes from right hugging the 3-point line. He shot threes from Egypt. You already know. You know what I'm saying? So like, obviously, he's just been in his head too much thinking, playing at home. Now he's playing on the road. He's not thinking about all of that. He's just gonna be able to focus. He had a daughter. His mindset is gonna be even more tougher because he has to grind. He has to put in that work. It's a big season for him because it's gonna determine his next contract this season and next season, right? So you get what I'm saying? So it's time to put in that work, BI2, all of them. So I like what I see, man. Anyways, you already know. Share, like, and subscribe. We got more coming. You already know. Just take your time. Share these videos. Get people on board with the channel because this season, oh man, it's gonna be game after game after game after game, different team after different team. My arsenal is gonna increase. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be versatile. I'm gonna have all of them. I'm gonna have the post, the paint, 3-point, mid range. I'm gonna have it all. I'm gonna be doing all types of teams. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, it's True Talks. Because True Talks. Share, like, and subscribe. And we out, man.